Okay, it started now, 12:30. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for the attendance of our Infrastructure Committee meeting to be held on the April the 11th. And here we are. This meeting will be audio recorded. Those in attendance could refrain from making any inflammatory statement. There are to be no other recordings of this meeting without the prior authorisation of the committee. Do we have any applications for attending the meeting by video? Zoom?
No, Mr. Mayor, but one of the staff members is attending via Zoom, so Alan Greer is online.
Okay, are there any apologies?
No apologies or councillors here, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any disclosure of interest
Nil received so far.
and public participation?
There is no public participation for today.
Okay. So the business items then, we'll move on. ISC 4.1, Works Program Infrastructure Services, Water and Sewer. Graham, you have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to step you through the important items. On page 3, which is the first page of the report, talks about we have engaged Becca, who's former H2O, about the feasibility of the water treatment plant at our site at Brushy Hill. They have their planning to come to site in about 3 weeks' time, start doing some drones, so that is all on the second page, about halfway down, Merriwell sewage treatment plant. Our contractors plan to start fairly shortly there to remove this flood. That will be dam, the tertiary dams. Moving down to water main renewal works, that's about to commence at Murrurundi in April. Bottom, the Hunt Aberdeen River pump station improvements. They are just completing that now. They're in final commissioning for that station, for the pump station improvements. Moving to the third page of the report, page 5. It's on the bottom of the page. Glenbourne Dam pipe work. We've had a failure of the support bracket in Glenbourne Dam pipe work. I've actually got a bit of a committee. I'll give you a bit of engineering insight. Let's go to the bracket first, and then let's go to the other image first. So inside the tunnel, inside the dam, we have a pipeline that is connected to the dam structure. The pipeline's on the left. You can see a black 600 diameter pipe. That's looking at the discharge from the dam. That's where they release water out of that hole that's about 1100 millimetres in diameter. When it comes out of there, it's like a garden hose at high speed, and that water is actually impacting on the brackets you can see over on the left on our pipeline. Normally what happens when you design a dam discharge, you actually build it such that it all occurs in a location where there's concrete. We've designed it in this location, and there's a very large load occurring on the brackets. It hasn't been a problem for many years because we haven't had the dam full, but because we had high levels of the dam last year, the water was being discharged from this outlet, has been hitting those brackets over many days, and has caused it to shield. It literally ripped it off the wall, washed it down the tunnel, and so we're now in the process of trying to resolve the engineering around this bracket and what we should do. It's a fairly complicated thing because we are in very high velocity areas. So just jump to the video. This gives you a bit of an idea of what we're seeing. It's about, you can see the first bracket on the right. It's basically where the water is bouncing up to the footway on the right. That's sort of the zone. So we're at the moment trying to resolve some issues around that. It's a fairly expensive process, and the solutions likely to be a bit expensive, and we're doing that.
Through Mr. Chair, at whose cost?
Well, it's our pipeline, so it's our cost to make this correct. We have some agreements with Muswellbrook Council for this pipeline. but it was never envisaged that this sort of a problem would occur. So it's not really written into the document, but we have started that conversation with Muswellbrook both to bring them in from a technical perspective and to bring them in and talk about the funding and how we would pay for it.
So, Mr. Chair, the designers, they've been contacted, I know it's quite a few years, that the people who designed this pipeline like this.
We haven't intentionally gone to the designers for this pipeline.
My frustrating part is we spend a lot of money on professionals designing things like warbird sheds, pipelines, etc. Someone's got to be accountable for these failures.
It's this failure is occurring over a very short space of time. A very short area. Basically, the jet is pushing water out. It's hitting a 2 metre face of like a vertical face of water. And probably when they designed this, it was just missed. And we haven't seen it for many years because they haven't been releasing water over the dam. But no, we haven't specifically gone back to the designer to seek recommendations.
I think so. It's very frustrating. They pay these big money and now we've left with the bill because of bad.
Through you, Mr. Chair, might be possible to ask the designers if this has been a problem elsewhere. They may actually have solutions for it.
Well, I have a question, and that is was this pipeline put in at the original dam site? In other words, was it an original engineering design? Because they lifted the wall and made it into a Glenbourne dam twice the volume of water. So was this pipeline put in after or in the original design?
Through you, Chair. There are two outlets. This is a variable outlet. This takes the water from a variable outlet at the higher level. That's 49 feet, 49 down.
I see.
Dams. There is a low level outlet, which is our backup supply, and that was in the original dam construction. So we do have two outlets. This is gives us the best quality water.
The outlet, in other words, well, who designed that particular outlet? That would be after the wall was lifted, because the original one would have been done in the late 59 early, when the original dam was constructed. But this one has been put in later, and who designed that? Was it council engineers or was it a consultative engineer?
It was originally done by Public Works.
Public Works
to do lots of that sort of land stuff, and they were the primary engineering South Wales government used to do this sort of construction.
I wonder whether if they were so they haven't been brought in on as yet.
We haven't specifically gone to them for that purpose.
I just wonder whether it's worthwhile perhaps seeking their advice. They designed it. So what do they have there? What's their solution?
I'll make that on board, Chair.
Okay.
The second item is, the final item that I'd like to discuss would be Murrurundi Dam. Murrurundi Dam falls into a category called prescribed dams. That means if it fails, there is a risk of line for the release of water. That requires significant maintenance, inspections, which is costing us about $440,000 annually. There's a briefing on the proposed decision-making process to consider whether the should keep. It goes through some the dam itself is a little bit different to some of the other dams in that it has no public access, and it's not on an active waterway. In other words, all of the water that's put into that dam is pumped from the Pages River, and it's really just an offline storage system. So At this point in time, we're looking to undertake a consultative assessment process in accordance with our briefing note. And we're requesting this committee to consider that and endorse the briefing note so that we can commence that engagement.
Thank you, Graham. Yeah, it's quite a lengthy document, but it also is very instructive too and informative. It's very, very well done. Yeah, I think we should know that. I think it's maybe used at purpose, but anyway, that's to be made. Okay, so anyway, do we have a move and a second, please, for ISD 4.1? Well, all those in favour, please say aye. Those against, I think the ayes have it. You like to turn the page now? ISD 4.2 to 15 online, but I'm not sure what it is on the iPad. As the committee receives the report and note the information. Sam, you have the floor. Thank you. Thanks, Graham.
Been read. There's just a couple of additional requirements that have been updated. So fixing local roads, pothole repair funding. There's actually a bit of a program towards that. As an attachment. So let's say our heavy regional road repair program too. Fixing country roads covers potholes and heavy patching, and then another funding, regional and local roads, which is 3.2, which is once more again, it's heavy patching.
Yeah, thank you. Look, I have a question regarding the patching and fixing potholes. What's the most efficient way of doing it? It doesn't seem to be terribly efficient at the present time. We're just putting some material in the back of a ute or material and then taking it out. Have we got an upgrade on that? Because I think that this is not going to stop just for this rain. Potholes are going to be there, especially in the tar section. How can we do it better, and how can we have them out there they're lasting a lot longer? What's the story?
So we have worked with the staff to improve our practices.
Right.
So we've identified that there is areas for improvements. We're working with staff to do that. However, they're environmental. Depends on weather and how where we can actually do that. So expected to last the duration of so we do an interim pattern later date.
And the problem remedy is what? Heavy patching over that section, or in other words, during the wet weather, it was pretty obvious. You try and fix them up, but then of course they continue to rain, and then they just splash out again.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that that's the blame of how it's been done. But how can we fix it so that it's more permanent?
Well, we've identified the heavy patch program. Those bigger patches will be stabilised.
I'd be interested too, and just to see if when that particular, I think it's Patterson, I think is his name, regarding that permanent potholes fixing machine or what it is, whether it's viable. I'm not saying we need to buy it, but I think we need to look at something. When are they going to do that, Mr. Director? Matt, do you know anything further about that?
Mr. Chair, I'll have to touch base with them and find out when we can.
Seeing where they're a long way away or something, they couldn't come, but I think that it's worthwhile. They're prepared to come and show the staff how it's done. We might learn something from it, so I'm very keen to see that happening. Also on page 18, the funding grants for repairs. Now, there's been some discussion regarding the upgrade of some of the roads, etc., and perhaps a causeway that needs to be repaired. Does that funding allow that to happen, or do we just go back to the old days, filling a pothole and putting a bit more gravel there, and then next rain comes, it washes it out again?
So, Chair, we're talking about the flood recovery money.
Yes.
Okay, it's like for like. So
we can't do anything.
There's a pothole involved. There's a culvert that's been washed out, we've got to replace it with the same culvert size.
How do we overcome that?
We have actually, so there is a section in here, that we've tried playing with some sediment, but yet to be approved. So the Ashford Road, Paulson's Creek Road, Ridgelands Road, and Rupel Road, we've asked for upgrades on all those roads.
Right, okay,
Really, Mr. Chair.
yes,
Is it correct that it's a simple case of having to wait for funding and grants money? We can't really do anything until we have the grant money. Is that correct?
At least the percentage we've put,
The future roads, future issues.
um,
Recognise roads that need to be repaired. But we've got them, and we need to get them repaired, and you know that it's a chance. Probably we haven't been able to get grants.
there's not getting in the depot to put roads forward. We've got our 5 year plan, so it's not in the,
Exactly,
Yeah.
so we need to apply for funding.
yeah, well, we're always applying funding and, yeah.
Thank you.
okay. We can just move on then to the grading program, I guess. How are we going with that? And have any questions or comments on those pages? I'm sure everybody says, well, I've got my road graded now, and however that is not possible.
I will flag that the maintenance grading program is well behind. And that's due obviously for a number of reasons, the weather, availability of staff and contractors, to get out and do the work.
Is there any moves to get another crew as well as a grader for our drive? Because really we're just down. But I haven't seen any advertisement for a crew. I mean, they're probably like Henstead, but on the other hand, we have to put that out. I believe we need to put that out there.
So we're always, well, we're just currently going through another round of recruitment for medium plant operators. So we've got interviews this week.
Right, okay.
Aside from that, we're trying to engage local contractors to help us out with the works. Most of our local contractors are already been engaged. They're either doing flood damage or other works for council. So it's, yeah, just struggling with resources to make that.
Yeah. It is, I'm sorry, yes.
I think it was mentioned before, because every child got money, everybody's after contractors, which is, it's a bit of a flood in the famine. I think at the moment everyone's got money, but we don't have the contractors because they're really sought after by everybody. Is that correct?
Yes, it's an unfortunate.
Yeah, that's it's gone up. That's costing us more.
I just have a question on some of the bridge projects, but we've got the extension of time to carry that out, as well as the funding for it.
Just to answer that one.
Which projects?
We need to hear you.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're looking at time, maybe to be completed next year. Stage 1 works for the original 9 bridges, and stage 2 is actually the other 5, which includes Bobby Allen, Ashbrook and those bridges. The door of skip at this stage.
Is that Bobby Allo Bridge, is it going in the same alignment? Or
Same alignment, yeah.
well, how are they going to get across the
Side track.
right.
Yes, same alignment and the same height, so it's not improving the service, it's just changing concrete structure to timber to concrete.
Concrete, yeah, right, okay, thank you. All right, any further questions or comments? Could I have a move and second for the ISC 4.2? All those in favour, please say aye. Against, I think the ayes have it. Move on now to ISC 4.3. My page is page 31. Sam, you still have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. How do you want
Yeah, I'm a bit ahead of time with my bridges.
to?
Okay. I just might add that I think it's really good to see that the bridge repair program that's going on and continuing. It's just something that infrastructure asset always comes good in the end and costs a bit at the time, but it's very good. Morella Street Causeway. How are we going with that? Jeffrey.
That's the upgrade of the existing concrete causeway. Roll's Creek, thought that it would be completed by the end of this week, end of the year, December, the end of December. Designs have been complete, this is the community grant, right to go, and we'll just keep the tank documentation prepared. Was that to be undertaken by a contractor?
Yes. Okay, all right. There's a number of pages there. Anything that we want to comment or question regarding? Questions or comments? Pretty good reading, actually. Moving second, please. IC 4.3.
Second.
Third, don't move that. Thank you, Taya. All those in favour, please say aye. Against, I think the ayes have it. Okay, turn over now to page 38 on mine, IFC 4.4. MR 358 Willow Tree Road upgrade recommendation that the committee receive the report and note the information. Jeff, you have any comments?
No, it's part of the joint this project, if you want to know this.
Good, yeah.
Right up to date, you don't need about it. We're not far off the.
Okay, thank you.
Through the chair, the tenants are all closed and we're in the process of reviewing those submissions. We've done the non-price and working through the period now to one track to reach the Bay Council rate.
Okay. Any questions or comments on that? So
We might go into closed later. If the committee is happy, I can give some further updates on the project, but it's commercial confidence and it can't be discussed in open meeting, Mr. Chair.
We're all happy with we do that, so we'll just move this resolution as it is, and then after you deal with the matters, then we'll go and close project. Okay, moving to second, please.
Move.
All those in favour, please say aye. I think the ayes have it.
It's like here.
Okay, let's turn the page to 42, IST 4.5, local roads initial field project update. Chris Agosto. Chris is not here, so Sam or Jeff.
Yeah, I can give you a quick update.
Thank you.
Local road initial field project update, it's for Medium Road, for the road of Barry, Forest Road. I'll start with Medium Road. Just a brief description, it's the widening of initial field of Medium Road, having 3.5 kilometres, up to the intersection of Barry Forest Road, from Main Road 105. And we've started construction, and we're starting to for late period 2023. We scheduled to open the traffic in September 2023, so it's a 6 to 7 month program with 20 traffic. Which is part of it's one of the projects under our project management group, so keep a close eye on that one. Tree begins complete the earthworks is probably 75% complete in the field cutting. And it's right out. We can do a bit more further work said before in the group. So and we're looking at starting the 5 weeks all the drains possibly within the month. So that's where we are. The earthworks then paying the initial two.
Jeff, I think there was a hold up with some of the pipes, etc., from the manufacturer. Is that, in other words, have all the material been able to be purchased and delivered on site? Or?
Yeah, we'll get along. We're still waiting on some box culverts, some concrete pipe culverts. That was a 42-week wait time for those. I think it's been close to that. The plastic pipes were right there on the sides, close to a 12-week wait time. So I think the schedule to start stored May.
Yep.
May.
So the box culverts are starting to roll out.
Phone on?
Turns us on.
Remember to turn that on.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the box culverts have started to roll out. I think we got it first loaded last week, then we've got, the plastic pipes that are ready to go. What else? Just pretty much giving you an update. The pre-clearing finished on Thursday. Works. I think we're pretty much through that first cutting now. We'll be on to the second cutting this week. Yeah. So yeah, things aren't tracking too bad.
Okay.
Through you, Mr. Chair. Yes, and the trees dwelling on clearing looks good, looks great. Cuttings coming along good. Just the additional pipes. So you're leaving the old culverts there as well, or you're pulling them out?
It's a combination. There's some pipes staying, some pipes being replaced. Yeah, so it's a combination through the job site.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got any, it's just good that some of these things are coming together anyway. It's been pretty difficult. Okay, any further questions or comment on ISC 4.5? Move in a second, please. Seconded. Yeah, all those in favour, please say aye. Beneath the eye. Now, look, I didn't, and which I regret. Anybody want to go through the capital works expenditure? It should have been in it was ISC 4.3, and I didn't look. I overlooked. Do you want to have a look at that? We can. Okay. Now, takers, we're all happy. You're all ready. I love it. Yeah, okay. Anyway, look, that's fine. But look, it's there for your perusal, and I think it's important that we have it. And we should anyway. I should have brought that up, but it doesn't really matter now. Anyway, okay. Let's look over to ISC 4.6. Scone CBD revitalisation.
Alan's online.
Okay. Well, Alan, is he going to update us?
Alan's the author of the report. Again, take it as read, but if there's any questions for Alan, he's online.
Yeah, I can give you a quick overview of the main points. So,
thank you, Alan.
A contract's been let to Darracon Contractors. At the moment, they're in the process of obtaining road approvals to get access to Kelly Street, which has been granted. So as of Thursday night on the 13th of April, they'll implement their traffic management strategy, which includes a partial road closure of Kelly Street between Liverpool and St Albans. And that'll utilise a detour through Guernsey Street. So I've done some sort of preliminary investigations, building inspections, and that over the last month or so, and we'll start seeing some sort of, I guess, more substantial works from Thursday this week.
Okay. I might add that unless my eyesight it is failing, we just don't seem to have too many. The map that's given on page 50, yeah, we don't seem to have the streets. But anyway, look, the main thing is it in hand? And you people living in Scone would be able to answer that. Is it in hand? Okay.
Mr. Chair, we'll let you know on Friday.
Good. Well done.
Thanks,
Okay.
Mr. Chair, and what I've mentioned on the radio even for tomorrow,
Yes.
it's going to be an inconvenience, but people got to, yeah, we want this new street, we're going to be inconvenienced, and I think it's all under control.
Right. Could I make the comment that whoever does these maps that may put them there, some are readable as you were looking at it, and the other ones you stand on your head. I'm just wondering why we're upside down. Anyway.
Okay.
All right, any comments or questions on IC 4.6, the Scone CBD revitalisation program? If not, I'll ask for a mover. Cloud, second, Councillor Speed. All those in favour, please say aye. And against, I think the ayes have it. Response to the previous question. I think it was the only one that I had, mate. Yeah, okay. Yeah, look, that's fine, and on that community hall one though, while answering that, was that door fixed up on the northern side? It couldn't be locked? That goes back quite a while.
Karen.
Yes, okay.
Currently spoken to our building services staff, and I couldn't tell you if it's been completed, but it's been programmed for works.
Well, yeah, can we just get an update on that, please? Because there's a grand piano in there. Some of the graffiti that's been going around there, it'd be a bit of a shame for us to get damaged. Anyway, I move in a second. I'm happy to move that. Second, please. Okay, all those in favour, please say aye. Note the recommendation. Okay, turn over the page, 53, 4.8. Questions with notice. Councillor Cloud, are you happy with the response?
Yeah, it makes sense, although there hasn't been flooding to have washed it away. It's a slight trickle, but anyway, I'm sure it will get fixed eventually. Thanks.
Can we ask Sam any better, not a better response, but a more permanent, remedy going to be able to take place?
Well, through the chair, have a call with our heavy patch program, so it's in there.
Mr. Chair, if necessary, we can go back out and do some further temporary repairs if we have to.
So yeah, I think it's a bit.
So the challenge is that while it's not currently flooding, the constant run of water, and that's very difficult to fix.
Mr. Chair, on page 30, we've already looked at the heavy patching, but Carl Spring Road is on the patching program, which Mr. Wood was referring to.
Okay, well, anyway, it was brought up, I think, earlier on. Anyway, that's good. It's in hand. That's the main thing. But I mean, okay. So we need to move and second that we note and accept note the questions received and responses.
Yeah.
Okay, second. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against, I think the ayes have it. Thank you. Now, as we agreed earlier, we were going to like to move into.
Yeah, just to clarify, you don't have a resolution in front of you. Sounds like Councillor Colesall, Mayor Colesall, and Councillor McPhee moving and seconding. The resolution for our minute takers will be that due to the matter being confidential in nature under section 10A2, we will move